Okay, so the audio started at 11:02:55. Hey folks, so I just saw a video on LinkedIn about that National Guard member who was sadly killed a couple days ago, um, Sarah Beckstrom, and how she was Googled in Israel, and I was like, what does that mean? It took me a while to figure out that the person who made the video was talking about people searching for her days ago before the shooting happened. Um, so that seemed kind of implausible to me. The implication being that it would be like a false flag, like people planned this, but it seemed more like a random, or not random, but that the National Guard members were targeted for being National Guard on patrol or whatever in DC, rather than an individual person. So, in any case, I decided to check this myself. So I did just this, and you can see the search results, and it shows you 24 hours in the United States, and you can switch to past week. And that's exactly what you would expect. You would expect it to be no searches, and then after it happened, you would see the spike. So the first day of 17 searches was November 27th. That was yesterday. Now, if you do worldwide, it looks very similar. And you see it just is at the zero line. And then it goes up. Oh, it's not number of searches. That 100 it's like 100%. So I guess the max is at this 100 mark. So it shows you not the raw numbers, but just the relative popularity of a search. So if you go to Israel, so that's exactly what that person said. And what surprised me is that worldwide showed 0 on those earlier days, but it may just be as a fraction of the total. So I guess if there's like millions of searches, then a few searches might show up as a flat line on that graph, I guess. I don't really know how this Google trend thing works, and you could probably figure that out, or maybe there's people who know more about this who can provide feedback to me and explain this to me. But 0, and then 0 on the 21st of November, and then 21st of November, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time in the US, there's 31, I guess, percent, and then it dropped again. Then there's 0 again on the 22nd at a different time, and then up to 93%. And then it dropped again, and then no activity, and then on this November 26th, 10 a.m., there was more searches, but not as many as before, not nearly as many. And then the 27th, 6 p.m., it's that 100. So that's the max. So that's what you would expect. But and then it goes down. So it's probably based on time of day, I guess. So you would expect when people are sleeping, there'd be less searches. And then more Friday, the 28th. So this is crazy because that number of searches is almost as high as the max. So this is like, what would explain that? And I know the implication is that it's false flags. So you would think, okay, it's intelligence people, Mossad or whatever, searching for this person. But how could it be that many searches, though, compared to the general public getting this news? Um, I guess maybe one plausible explanation is that there's another person with this name, and I don't know if Beckstrom is a Jewish name. Like, that would be my first thought, but it could be maybe like Dutch or something, or just like a general European name. I can't think of what group of surnames ends in Strom, but I've heard it before. Um, so I don't have an explanation for this. This is really strange. So, and it's also strange that well, I don't know. It's all very strange, and I just want to say, the shooting was terrible. It's horrible that happened, and that perpetrator felt the need to do this, or was justified in his mind, just like all these kind of you know killings. But it's wrong to blame every Afghan person, and especially because the people who come here as refugees are here because they helped America in that war. And I've had neighbors when I lived in Austin who were refugees from Afghanistan. Super nice people. So. All right, so the audio started at 11:10, and the video a couple of seconds before. Hey folks, so I just saw a video on LinkedIn that claimed that Sarah Beckstrom, the National Guard member who passed away, was Googled in Israel. And it took me a couple seconds to figure out what that meant, and what they were saying is that they were Google search. So I did watch the clip, and I didn't have the audio on, so I wasn't listening to everything they were saying, but they showed screenshots of Google Trends. And so I decided to check this myself, because honestly that seems really kind of too obvious, because the idea is that maybe it's a false flag, but like, would people doing a false flag be that obvious and be like Googling the victim? Plus, it doesn't seem like the individuals would be targeted. It would be more likely that it was just a National Guard. It could be any National Guard members who were stationed there that this killer had seen and decided to carry out his crime. So I decided to check for myself. So Google Sarah Beckstrom, or check the trends, and there's the United States 24 hours. So let me set it to 1 week. And I think the 100 is not number of searches, it's like percentage. And so the max for the time frame is going to be that 100. So the max is today, and right now I'm in Texas, so it's 6 p.m. Central Time. And there are less before, and then it's basically flatline. And it says 0, but I don't know how those numbers get calculated. So I don't know if 0 really means 0 activity at all, or if they drop to a certain amount, if they get rounded down to, if it's like 0.5%, or if it's 0.4%, does that get rounded down, and those 0.5 get rounded up to 1? I don't know, but this is what the graph shows. I'm going to switch to worldwide. Looks very similar. Flat line, and then November 27, 2 p.m. Central Time, and then it goes up. So if I switch to Israel, whoa, the result changed from what it was a little while ago. That's crazy. Wow. So I made a video a little while ago, and I forgot to switch on my Tascam to get better voice recording. And that time when I sent it to Israel past week, it showed spikes on the 22nd, the 23rd, and then another one on the 26th. So I'm going to post that video. I'm going to post both of these because it seems like the Google Trends is being altered. Wow. That's honestly a shock. I didn't expect that. Okay, the audio for this one started at 11:14:40. And so I just realized that I still have the other tab open. So this is the tab that shows 0, and then the other tab, it shows the spikes. And then I had another one where I was checking before. So it does, I mean, it may be not intentional. It may be because people are searching from Israel, so the number goes way up, but I don't know, that is possible. So it may not be an intentional changing of the Google results, but it may be the result of the small spikes being like smoothed out down to 0. But you can see how there was definitely a spike. What time is it now in Israel? 7 p.m. I didn't really think about it, but I was thinking maybe it would be more of a time difference where like they're just waking up. But yeah, they're only 8 hours ahead of us. It's not a massive. So you would expect there to be searches all day. So that doesn't necessarily explain why the results are changing so rapidly. And I also don't know when the news came out of that National Guard member dying. I haven't had the news on. I just saw stuff on LinkedIn. So it may have been that the news just came out and it's causing people to go on Google. I don't know what to make of all this. It's sad and it's horrible.